I feel like there is a issue in the sport about actually teching cars. Seems like that's across the board. Uh, Maybe you get fair play, maybe you don't sometimes. Me and Cody have had our conversations. I feel like he doesn't think it's sometimes fair. Um, how do you feel about teching in the sport? Do you think there's favoritism, or is this a subject that, once again, what's in the helmet is your head and you don't care about anything else?
I don't think there's favoritism. I think certain situations, if it's raining or if we got a long drive in between events, everybody's in a rush to leave, so they just check simple things. But I don't think there's favoritism. I think all the crew chiefs talk and to each other, and they talk to tech guys. And, if somebody sees something suspicious, they, let people know. But I mean, Knoxville does a good job of catching people doing sketchy stuff as well. And obviously, what Danny says in PA, they don't check much, and
But
who
but but
knows?
but but,
But
but PA is supposed to be like almost a standard point, right? I mean, I feel like the Outlaws are supposed to be a standard. High Limit's supposed to be a standard. Obviously, Kevin Nels came out with what he said about High Limit. But it feels like PA should at least be right there in some capacity in the same style of circle, right?
yeah, yep,
And
it should be. Everything should be held to a high standard in PA safety at racetracks and all those things. But um, I don't know. They probably don't really have the tech guys at those tracks. Really, they're it's hard to make money at weekly racing. So why are tracks going to invest more in employees? That's not going to, you know, make them more money.
well, and that's what I was told today by a person when I had this idea, this third party teching. I think it's a good idea, to have somebody outside of High Limit, outside of the world of Outlaws, who is like instituting fairness. Because I do personally, you may not agree, I do think there is an element of you don't want to pop certain cars or make one of your cars look bad when you're in a competitive element. I mean, the world of Outlaws and High Limit is a real thing, I think. If the World of Outlaws lose the 2 car, the 41, the 18, they're in trouble if they lose them to High Limit, for instance. And if you were a tech guy and you defamate the reputation of one of these teams, that is a big business decision, David. Because all of a sudden, you say you pop a guy for whatever XYZ reason, and that guy or that team can't race, you suspend whatever, which is what's supposed to happen when you get caught doing something wrong. Now, all of a sudden, these premier teams have another option on where to go. We saw this in the late model industry. I think it was Scott Bloomquist in particular who got popped for a tire or something. I can't remember the actual instance. I'm not a big late model guy, but he got popped for illegal this or whatever that on one series. He left and went to the other series, and it basically tanked the other one. I do think that there is an issue there where there's business decisions happening in the tech areas.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Okay.
There was red flags with High Limit with the scales and stuff like that, and now people are saying, you know, my radio or this or that. But I mean, why would they want to piss off Kyle Larson and his team at Knoxville? And
Right.
they did what they had to do.
Right. Why would you want to piss off the 2 team on the Outlaw Tour? Why would you want to piss
Yeah,
off the 41 or the 18 team on the Outlaw Tour? This is what I'm explaining.
yeah. I want to know how we catch somebody with traction control, because I've never seen somebody get caught with traction control, and I hear about it a lot, but I don't think you could ever catch it, in my opinion.
Do you think if any of these things are happening, and I feel like, once again, late model industry, sprint car industry, I feel like the drivers of the late model industry are a little more involved with the car, crew chief wise. They know what setups on it, they know how to work on it. I feel like in the sprint car industry, there is a very big separation between the driver and the car. Do you think there are some drivers out there who are unaware potentially of their car being juiced up?
I mean, potentially, yeah, but I mean, who knows?
Like if the 57 gets popped for whatever, ever, at all, period. Are they going to blame Kyle or are they going to blame Paul? You know what I'm saying?
Not, yeah. I mean, every situation's different. I think you could answer that own question yourself. You know, like Kyle, he just drives the car. He don't give a shit what's on the car.
But that's you as
he just
well. You're
drives it.
explaining that right now. You understand that, right, David? You're explaining how you just drive it. You don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know some, but not all.
Right. So you could be in the same situation as Kyle, technically.
Sure.